10 of the best JDM cars of all time. Some of the first things that come to mind when thinking of Japanese products are anime, bullet trains, sumo wrestlers, anything matcha related, and a 2020 to 21 Summer Olympics that may never come into fruition. Japan is known to have some very quirky and innovative creations, many of them being cars. Japan is known to have some very quirky and innovative creations, many of them being cars just for the Japanese. Perhaps you've seen them in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, if that's what you were thinking. Here are the 10 best JDM cars since inception. Number 10. 1996 Nissan 180SX. The final and best version of the Nissan 180SX, released in 1996, received a Grade A facelift, making her look absolutely stunning. If you love Tokyo Drift and enjoy a powerful, steady drift, the 180SX with the 202 horsepower provides a sweet swerve. The headlights which top the hood of the car give her a human look with bright eyes and a smile. You almost think the Nissan will come to life like Herbie and help you win a race. Sadly, production of the Type X ended in 1997, so good luck trying to find an unused version. However, you can find the used models from $15,000 to $26,000. The interior of the Nissan is also sleek and crisp and has air conditioning, but don't expect much tech for a 90s car. You may be lucky to have a cassette player. The padded seats resemble those of the arcade racing games, so you can sit back, relax, and imagine you're playing Need for Speed. Number 9. 1998 Honda Civic Type R hatchback. This is not your ordinary boring grandpa's Honda Civic. This Japanese design never sold in the US, but is what Americans yearn for. With the Type R car, Honda set out to create a beast of a car, but still stayed true to its belief in reliability and affordability. For a used car, don't expect to find anything under $15,000, with prices increasing with lower mileage. But for that price, this stellar Honda is still a force to be reckoned with. The two-door hatchback with padded crimson red bucket seats and floor mats is a compact, front-wheel drive sports car, but surprisingly still has a ton of trunk space. The Type R, outfitted with a naturally aspirated V16 engine, had 185 horsepower and 118 pound-foot torque, which was at one stage the highest output per litre for its engine type. This superior Honda can run 0 to 60 in 6.7 seconds and reaches a solid speed of 140 miles per hour. The drive is smooth, powerful and comfortable. You can feel the higher performance of the car with the VTEC. And the exhaust is pretty quiet, so you don't have to be one of those obnoxious guys who revs their engines to try and look cool. Number 8. Nissan Silvia S15. This superstar car, which came out in 1999, is an icon. The lightness of the S15 is uncommon for a sports vehicle with its strength, which makes it graceful and easy to navigate. The ride is swift and effortless with a NISM gauge cluster and easy-to-use clutch and steering, but stick to smooth flat roads as it can get a little cranky on other terrains. By virtue of its turbocharger, this Nissan can brag powerful 250 horsepower to the cranks with its 4-cylinder engine. If you enjoy the adrenaline rush of drifting, this is a scorcher of a drift car with 203 pound-foot torque, and you'll have a blast taking it to the track. There is some hot debate on the look and sound of the car. It's definitely not the sexiest of cars, but it's not ugly by any means. From the outside, the sound is semi-decent for a 4-cylinder, but on the inside it sounds more like a squeal. For those lucky enough to find an S15, it'll probably sell for around $25,000, but some can go up to $50,000 and will probably go up once you buy it in the States. If you live in the US, don't get your hopes up for finding this marvel. Sadly and stupidly, it is still illegal to have or import this car in the country. But that increases the incentive to travel across the Pacific to appreciate this bombshell on the island where she was created. Number 7. Spoon Sports Honda E80 Civic. Spoon Sports CEO Tatsuro Ichishima magically transformed an ordinary Honda Civic into a bright sunflower yellow and sky blue Marvel sports car. Ichishima, being a former employee of Honda and hardcore Honda lover, was able to obtain the support of Honda to turn their car into a racing powerhouse in the 1980s. Besides the dazzling colors of the car, the exterior is quite simple without any real wing. All wheels are center-locking Enkai covered with Advan rubber, but there are no additional intricate designs. Spoon Sports' goal was to have a lighter car, a more agile car. They completely stripped out the Civic interior, only including a driver's carbon Kevlar bucket seat, and tuned the naturally aspirated DOHC ZC 1.6-litre engine, boasting 230 horsepower at 9,800 RPM, a surefire racetrack winner. Number 6. 1998 Nissan Skyline R3425 GT. The original version of this car is by no means sexy, with an old-school, boring bonnet and lackluster silver color, but it's what's inside the hood which counts, and that's what gives this 25 GT the potential for greatness. This Skyline GT is a rear-wheel drive, powered by an RB25DE Neo engine with 5-speed manual, and became the most fuel-efficient Skyline, so you can get the adrenaline boost but still care for our planet. The 25 GT has a 2.5-litre 6-cylinder naturally aspirated engine with a 65-litre capacity and 280 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, with a turbo engine and 188 foot-pound torque at 4,000 RPM. The prices for one of these used cars can range from $10,000 to $18,000, and well worth the cost if you can find one. The exterior is mostly found in silver or white with a rear wing, sports exhaust and Skyline branding on the rear, which gives a little flair to the boring look. The 25 GT boasts 17-inch wheels with alloy rims and 2 piston calipers, and has a rear windshield wiper, which is a bonus. The interior has a much more attractive design with 2-tone fabric seats, but it contains tiny Japanese-sized cup holders, so no massive coffees in this car. Number 5. 1994 Toyota Land Cruiser. Land Cruisers are timeless 4x4s that can take you through the muddiest and toughest terrains of your journey, and the strong, reliable 1994 Toyota Land Cruiser is the greatest Japanese SUV, which can take you on the adventure of a lifetime. This big beauty has a 4-speed automatic drive that can last you on many escapades and into unknown territories. It has lots of space to bring the whole family and favorite furry friend. It has a fuel capacity of 25.1 gallons and can travel well over 300,000 miles without a problem. The only downside is that it has pitiful gas mileage, so not ideal for a road trip unless you want to go on a gas station sightseeing tour. The performance of this car is fantastic. Its 4.5-litre 6-cylinder gas engine can hit 212 horsepower at 4,600 RPM and has a 275 pound-foot torque at 3,200 RPM. Not a racing car like others on this list, but definitely a powerful, solid and valuable car that can be bought and cherished between $20,000 to $36,000, well worth the cost. The exterior is pretty simple and standard for Land Cruisers, nothing too fancy. The interior is equipped with heated seats, a hot and cool box as well as an ice maker, so the driver can enjoy a nice hot coffee for the drive, and the passenger can chill with a beer in the icebox. Number 4. V12 Twin-Turbo Toyota Supra by Top Secret. This smoky Nagata masterpiece is one of the most unique and legendary cars in existence. With an engine of 12 cylinders, Smokey created an Imperial engine over 1,000 horsepower and 745 foot-pound of torque, which reached a whopping 222.6 miles per hour at the Nardo test track in Italy. Nagata painted the Supra in Top Secret's iconic luxury gold and designed the interior with padded leather bride seats, perfectly built for a winning car in a highway race where Smokey could leave his competitor coughing up the smoke from his victory. Smokey also added 19-inch Bridgestone Potenza RE0508 tires, topped with the same gold coating, giving the V12 the design of gods. The entire car has an estimated value of $500,000, but sadly only sold for around $80,000 in an auction in 2018. But there is little doubt that if this Japanese superstar ever comes on the market again, it will be hot off the market. Number 3. 2016 Toyota Hiace. Japanese families or companies clearly were not vibing with an ordinary minivan, so Toyota created the Emperor of vans fit for a sumo wrestler who has to hold on to a little of his street cred but still needs to take the kids to school safely. The Hiace has a 4-star safety rating and is equipped with cruise control, brake assist, dual front airbag packet, emergency stop signals, and a very much needed reversing camera to get this bold beauty out of a squeeze. The exterior is simple and white, with halogen headlights and a sliding door. The interior is equipped with a CD player, phone connection, and adjustable steering wheel with audio controls connected. And although the interior is not very attractive, the tech is pretty sweet for 2016. The price of this sumo vehicle ranges from $23,000 to $53,000 depending on the upgrades. Comes with a 3-litre diesel or 2.7-litre regular unleaded petrol engine, with either 4-speed auto, 6-speed auto, or 5-speed manual, or a commercial or people mover variation. The engine is receptive but loud, so you'll definitely have to put your music on full blast to hear anything. Depending on the type of Hiace, it can reach a horsepower of 144 and has a great turning circle, so little worry about hitting the curb. The drive is clear and comfortable, but there is no seat height adjustment, so the taller people won't have the best view of the road. You can tell this was not made for the 6'5" Dutch basketball player. Number 2. 1993 Mazda RX-7. This classic Mazda is a magnificent sports car and a true sports car. There is no sport mode, everything is sport mode. The RX-7 is a 2-door rear-wheel drive with cool slender taillights that are most likely no longer legal. The whole design structure of the RX-7 is a smooth, exemplary piece of art. If you're one who loves a great drive, the RX-7 gives you the true feeling. The steering may be heavy, but you can feel the grandeur of it. One downside: if you're tall, the car does not move to fit you. You have to adjust to fit in the car, and it can be a bit of a squeeze for our long-legged friends. Back in the day, this sleep girl would cost around $32,000, but a used car now costs around $27,000. However, another downside is that this Mazda is not reliable, so be prepared to choke up the same cost of the car for maintenance, or watch some YouTube videos and learn to be a mechanic. Considering this car was made in 1993, it has a horsepower of 225, a 217 pound-foot torque, and can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 5 seconds. It's a hell of a lot better than many cars made today. Given the power and speed, the wheels are designed to cool down, so you can go as fast as possible without the strain of overheating. To entertain you on your high-speed journey, the infotainment system is composed of the old-school cassette tape. Wipe off the dust of those decaying cassettes and let your hair loose in this timeless machine. Number 1. 1999 Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. Topping the list is the firecracker Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4, or GTO as it was marketed in Japan. It's a heavy car, but it's not so noticeable with the power under the hood. In the late 90s, the VR4 was a performance killer and one of the most iconic and gorgeous cars of the 90s. This all-wheel drive and all-wheel steering has a 19.8-gallon fuel tank and is a 6-speed manual. Inside the hood is a twin-turbocharged V6 cylinder, 3-litre engine with 320 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 315 pound-torque at 2,500 RPM, a powerhouse for its time. The two turbos give a sweet acceleration, and you'll have to shift gears quickly in order to keep up with the speed. The grip on the tyres is solid, which can endure terrible road conditions, but the traction does not produce a winner in a drag race. The 3000 GT is low-roofed with low bucket seats, and headspace is sparse in the front seat, so it would be quite difficult to navigate if you're tall. The exterior is simply stunning, especially if you get it in red. The large wing at the rear, curved hood and roof give this stunner sex appeal. A used car is only around $10,000 to $30,000, surprisingly low for this 3000 GT VR4, which is not only a superstar in performance, but is so stunning it can hide all your flaws when you're behind the wheel. Sadly, several of these older JDM cars are still illegal in the US, and if they're international, they are branded differently. But it's clear from this list that when it comes to cars specifically in the last century, the Japanese were insanely creative and created some of the most unique and powerful cars to date. Some may be bewildered to think a Nissan or a Mazda could top a luxury sports car, but don't be fooled. The JDM cars can hold a ton of power at an affordable price.